Hey guys, what's up? It's John with Educated Arms. I wanted to make a video here for a second and just like spew out some thoughts that are in my head. I'm sitting in the parking lot at my kid's school, dropped off my kids on their last day of school. And I know everybody keeps making all these posts about the tragedy that happened in Uvalde and just all of the circumstances around that. And I had someone comment on a post and basically insinuate that that I'm a passionate person about guns, right? So those of you guys that know me obviously know this is what I do for a living. But what I do is not yes, I'm passionate about it, but it is not like it's a hobby. It's not a passion thing. And you've got all these individuals out there who are crying for this gun control, and they want to make all of these pushes for all of these things. And I think what a lot of people forget in all of this is that the Second Amendment is a constitutional right. It's not a privilege. It's not something to be revoked. That is it. The right for the people to bear arms. And the Second Amendment was written for us to be able to basically bear arms and be able to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government, like what happened back in the 1700s. And you get all these people who will insinuate that, oh, you can't take on the U.S. military if you ever needed to and everything else. I think what people fail to understand is that the most recent numbers that are out there is that there is, give or take, 500 million guns in circulation in the United States. So even if you waved a magic wand today and you stopped all firearm manufacturing, all firearm production, how are you going to go about getting 500 million guns from citizens and people who are not going to give them up freely? Furthermore, just on Black Friday last year alone, in the United States, this is just background check gun sales, there was more firearms sold on Black Friday last year than the entire United States Marine Corps has in their inventory. Let that sink into your brain as far as how many firearms are actually floating around here in the United States. And for those of you guys that are wanting to jump up and down about gun control, you guys are the same people who are crying about defunding the police, when now we've got reports coming out of Uvalde saying that the police there didn't have ballistic shields and they didn't have all of these tools that they would have needed to breach the school sooner and protect life there in the school. And you guys are the same people who are sitting here crying out for us to defund the police departments and do away with all these guys, where if we had armed police officers at this school or at any school or at all of the schools, the chances for an active shooter situation drop drastically. But you guys are also the same people who want to send $40 billion to the Ukraine and don't want to look at using that at home. So instead of us spending all of this money overseas and sending it to a foreign country, why don't we use that here and domestically and use it here in the United States to harden these schools and to put school resource officers and armed security guards in all of these schools? Because again, the genie's out of the bottle. You're not going to get 500 million guns back. Criminals, by definition, do not follow the law. So even if every law-abiding gun owner in the United States says, here you go, Uncle Sam, they turn their guns in, the criminals aren't going to do it. The criminals aren't going to turn their guns in. So all of you people who are out here hollering about gun control and enforcing this and enforcing that, it's all well wishes. You're not going to make a difference on that note. If you want to bring about real change in this country, you have to look at hardening the schools, improving security and education to the teachers and to those around the schools. And you got to stop sending money to all these foreign countries. And when we've got just these plethoras of issues here at home, we could invest that $40 billion in protecting schools and in expanding mental health care for these individuals like this piece of shit who shot up the school in Uvalde. These are the people that need help. And so those of you guys that are saying that this is just a passion, this is just a hobby for people like me, you don't have the slightest clue what you're talking about. And that Second Amendment right that we have protects your First Amendment right for you to be able to say these things. So before you guys go running around spewing about gun control this and gun control that, you need to search your inner being and actually get some facts as to what's actually floating around out there and do something to make a real difference. That's it, guys. You guys have a happy Friday. Again, just had to get that off my chest. There's just so much back and forth about this. It's a mess, and this country's a mess. And unless we as a people do something to bring about unity and peace and work together, nothing's going to change. That's it, guys. Stay safe. We'll talk to you later.